Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing okay under crazy circumstances. Listen, things have gone crazy in Indianapolis over the last week, even crazier than things have been. Don't know how much of you guys have been paying attention to the police-involved shootings and what that means here in this city. I was reading some stories and asking some questions and feeling like I wish I had a job where I could ask these questions and work on some of those questions on a deeper level, and feeling some sadness that even though there are lots of good journalists still out there doing their thing, there's not enough of them, and I'm not sure that the questions I want to have answered about what occurred over the course of that one day here in town, I don't know if they're going to be answered. I can't be the one martyr for every issue that goes down and just like, I'm going to get the information come hell or high water. I mean, there's part of me that lives for that, but I'm also like, I'm probably still recovering from trauma involved in trying to get information out of people and running up head into, injustice after injustice again and again. But we don't give up, do we? And we don't know what the future has in store in terms of when we'll be called to use our gifts at any particular one moment in time, which is why it's ironic that I got daring and turned on the news this morning. I went for the NPR radio. I'm thinking about working on sound more, and I've always looked up to so many of you, my friends, we've known each other through the public radio world, and gosh, those of you that are out there doing this full-time professionally, I love the sound that you bring us. And so it just happened that when I was listening to the radio this morning, there was a poetry call out for Ahmaud Arbery, who I had just taken a run for earlier in the week. And I had been late to that story because I do keep a lot of this world at arm's distance because drinking from the fire hose can be unhealthy after a certain amount of time. And I felt compelled when I heard this call out on the radio this morning to write a poem for Ahmaud, to do that. So it's still this morning. This is a one-take wonder. But poetry, enables us to explore things in different ways, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm grateful for the call out. I'm grateful for art, and I'm grateful to those of you who want to listen and converse about these things, because it is scary to talk about race. If you're white, there's a particular set of potential minefields to step in, and it's okay to step in those along the way if your heart's in the right place and you're trying to do the right thing and be a good human. So none of us is perfect. Racism and stereotypes, fear and anger and shame, all that good stuff. It's something we do there's a lot of commonality in our darker side, the dark side. For Ahmaud, by request, free flow, May 13th, 2020, Indianapolis. How nice to write a poem instead of a story. The stories sound the same, and people get confused. Poetry puts voice to pain It enables joy. Poetry transcends boundaries beyond the who, what, where, when, and why. Why? Why can't a dude just take a jog? How? How has fear gripped men by the balls so hard it blinds them to the common blood of humanity? This poem is for Ahmaud, a man who deserves justice. This is not about a slogan, though Black lives do matter. This poem mourns a person's death at the hands of hatred. This story is so deep. Gladwell's Talking to Strangers went there. Few do. Most journalists don't have jobs. The story is 3 police-involved shootings in one night in Indy, and a cop killed a pedestrian too. In Louisville, 3 cops killed a black EMT in her bed. The story gets confused as people parrot talking points and lose heart. The story needs to be told, so we use poetry. Can you feel the pain of people driven to their knees with heavy hearts? Can you feel the pain of a mom beholding her child blown to bits? Has our humanity been rendered unrecognizable? White guilt. White witness. Willing to engage. Willing to listen. My privilege compelled me to run for Ahmaud, compels me to call out his name, joining the sanctified choir for justice, called out to take a time out to speak up for what is good and true and right. I thought I heard something about white people. The driver idling at the red light appeared to be speaking to me, a white girl, just safely home from my run for Ahmaud. What? I mimed, hand to ear. I'm sick of white people, the guy, who was black, said. I get that, I replied, nodding. Yeah, he said in such a way. That's what I'm talking about, was implied. I smiled. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They want someone to say, I feel your pain, even if I'll never know what I don't know. I hear you. I feel you. I hear you, Ahmaud. I feel you. We, the people, hear you. We will write poems about your pain.